It is my privilege to introduce the director of Motivational Growth. I love this film. Hang on a second. I love this film. It is weird. It's the strangest film of the festival, and I get to introduce it. It's a cult classic in the making, sir. Anyway, Don Thacker, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello. That's awesome. Do my bidding. That's amazing. Okay. So actually, I'm very short of time. Apparently, like I gotta go fast, which is hard for me. I talk a lot. So I wanted to thank Canada, not just Toronto After Dark, which is awesome, but Canada. Not just because you guys are awesome and socialist and cool and have free healthcare and great poutine, but when I was like 4, you know when you're 4 and like everything just kind of happens, like your mom wakes you up and like the TV does TV stuff and shows fantasies and the sun comes up and all that. Well, I didn't understand that a television was a magical box that, I thought the television was a magical box that was just spitting fantasies in my face. And I loved it. And it was like the best thing in the whole world. I grew up in Detroit and was really close to Canada. And I got a lot of CBC. And something happened once when I was like 4.5 years old. I was watching CBC and there was a documentary about filmmaking. It was actually about the Return of the Jedi, and they were making the Return of the Jedi, but they were doing all the background stuff. They were building all the Gamorrean guards and doing all this stuff, and it showed a bunch of like hippie dudes standing outside of a warehouse smoking cigarettes, probably joints, and then rolling into a big festival, or I'm sorry, a big factory area, like a giant warehouse, and just working, and it was amazing. And then they would like cut and show you like what they were doing, and they were making the pig guards and all the cool, like the ships and everything. And then they did like a yakety sax kind of like time lapse. And it was really cool, and something in my little brain popped. And it was like, all that really cool stuff isn't magically emitting from that box. It's people that make it, it's humans. And I'm a people, and I could probably make one of those at some time. And so I spent the rest of my life trying to make one. I made one, I'd like you guys to see it. Give it a chance. I hope you like it. It's really your fault. If you hate it, Canada, it's your fault, because you guys did the CBC thing. So I'm going to get off the stage, or they're going to kick me off. I'll be back for a Q&A. I suggest you all stay. My Q&A, this is really funny. I actually won an award for a Q&A. I get the best Q&A in Seattle Northwest Film Forum history. I don't know what that means. That's crazy. So you guys should stick around. I can't be, last night they had like a band and stuff. I can't do that. I just got me. But I'll give me to you, and you will like it. So I will see you after the film. They gave you a little slip. If you don't have a little piece of paper, feel free to take 10 minutes and go get one. It'll be a rating, voting thing. Please vote for my movie. It's really important, because you guys, you made this movie by being Canada. So I'm gonna go. You should have this. I'll talk to you guys later.
Thank you, Don. I don't need to say anything more. Please vote. You can tweet right here. See this? Okay. Let me welcome back to the stage, Mr. Don Thacker.
They'll never know. Son.
Okay, I'm going to start off with a couple of questions. Don, if you just touch base of, how you started.
If I take another step, will you take another step back?
Yes.
This is awesome. I now own the stage.
Talk about a little about how you began. I know you started in computer programming.
Yeah, I've been computer programming since I was 6. That's like this many. Yeah, I've always wanted to make movies, as I told you before. I wanted to make films since I was like 4, but I got really good at computer programming when I was like 6. So I realized that I can make a lucrative career in that, and in America, that is all that matters. Your dreams are useless. Make money, buy a house and a car, and get a hot girlfriend and hate her forever. That's the plan. I got to like 25 and I was like, this is not working. I had a fairly successful computer programming career. It was awesome. I did lots of stuff. I had a 401k. That's like a retirement fund. I was thinking about when I was 24, my retirement. Ugh. So yeah, I burned all that. I lit it all on fire and sold everything, got out of a condo and made a film company.
Moved to LA.
No, that was when I was like 19, the LA thing. Ugh, LA thing. Arrgh.
Okay, you can tell me a little bit about your casting process, because I know I've heard stories.
Yeah, okay, so I don't actually, I don't hold auditions. I think that's dumb. It's my job as a director to, help, form a character with an actor, right? You give an actor and you work this thing out, and you have then a fleshed out character. How am I to expect just a random person to walk in off the street and know what I'm looking for? That's terrifying. A poor person, I keep making the P sound. I apologize.
Can you hear me? Because this is ridiculous.
I apologize to those people that have to do that. I actually meet people. I go out to dinner with them, and we have lunch and stuff, and talk. And I see if I can get to this person. If this is a human being that I can interact with on a real level, and then we can, work out a character. I do hold auditions. I'm kind of lying a little bit. We hold the initial, the role is a 15-foot alligator, and you came in and you're a tiny kitten. Does that make sense? So we have kind of like a cattle call kind of thing, which is ironic because we actually got Box the Ox, the guy who plays Box the Ox. That dude's 5'4". Do you believe that? That guy's this tall. I'm looking, what? He comes bounding in, this little dude, and I was like, oh, come on, man. I've been swearing the whole movie, so I'm gonna swear however you goes on my mind. Oh, Christ, man, this is gonna be terrible. And he's all buff, and I'm like, I'm gonna be beat up by a 5'4" guy after I tell him to leave. So he comes walking in, and he just nails it, just dead on. The performance in the movie, he gave me that the first day. He's boom, just nailed it. It was amazing. I was like, what am I supposed to do now? The guy's this tall, I don't know. Oh, crap. And then I remembered, I'm in the movie business. We hew from reality illusion. So we built a 9-inch platform for the bro. It's woo-hoo, it's up there. And then, so that's about the height of an Apple box, which for you non-film industry people is just a fucking box. I don't know why it's $130 for a 9-inch box. I don't know what that means. So it's a 9-inch box. So we would have a chick underneath a table. She was waiting, because you know how he slams in the front door and the door comes flying open? You can't open a door against a 9-inch platform, because there's a 9-inch platform in the way. So we had the 9-inch platform just the door distance away from the door, and she was under this little thing, and he would slam open the door, she'd shove the Apple box out, he'd take one step on, she'd pull it away, he takes another step off, and it goes away. Which was really funny when he fucking missed that Apple box. 15 times. Slam, slam, slam. I'm getting really pissed on. So, we also did this gag, I don't know if you caught on, but we tricked you, because he comes in, you're Ian, right? This is you guys with the camera, all right? He comes in, he's like, oh, and he walks past Ian, and then he walks up to the camera, and he fills the whole screen, because he's a big dude, and I want you to remember that this guy's huge. And then when he walks back, he comes to about here to talk to Ian. It's forced perspective. The guy, Ian, is far away. So they're talking to dots on the wall. And there's a point where he has to put his shoulder on, and there's some other dude's hand goes up. And then his hand goes up like this. And he's like, ugh. It's really hilarious. So we did that. The second time he comes in, we do the same thing. He walks directly across Ian. He goes, and the camera whips around this other side, and he goes right into the camera. He's like, you ever broke a chimp's arm before? Now you know the guy's huge. He broke a chimpanzee's arm. So, there you go. That's Box the Ox. That's a cat. So he was a lucky find. If I didn't hold those cattle call kind of things, I would never have gotten the short dude. We had a producer who was like, I don't like that the word fag is in your movie. You use the word fag. And I was like, well, he's a bigot. Doesn't that count for something? He's an asshole who would say fag. And well, let's nix it, because it's an edgy term in the U.S. right now. And I was like, let's ask the guy who's acting. And I'm like, so Pete, how do you feel about saying fag? And he's like, hey, you know I'm gay, right? So apparently he felt just okay with it. So I sent back the producer, I'm like, yeah, dude's gay, he loves the fag line, we're going. It was awesome.
Talk about a little about Jeffrey.
Jeffrey Combs is in this movie. He played a fungus. Did you guys see that part? Yeah. So that dude is awesome! Because who am I? I'm nobody! And I asked the dude if we did a thing, and there was this magical, I don't want to talk about it thing, that he somehow got a script. I won't say it had anything to do with surreptitious methodology or anything. He got a script and he liked it, and then we did the whole official thing, and then he brought it on the day, which is shocking because I had 2 days with the guy. I've never met him, and I'm like the biggest. I'm a horror nerd, so like this is Jeffrey Combs. This is like essentially God. Like I don't know what I'm supposed to do to talk to this guy, and not only that, I'm also. I can tell you the carrying capacity of a Constitution-class Starfleet vessel is 402, depending on the number of yeomans the captain wants. If he wants 2 yeomen, it's 403. I'm a Star Trek nerd, and I love Jeffrey Combs because he's in Star Trek too, right? So this guy is like, he's hitting all the notes, and he comes in, and I had this weird moment where I was like, oh fuck, Jeffrey Combs is here. I hired him, I paid him, I did all, he was supposed to be there. It was me and him, that was it. He walks in, I'm like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do? Jeffrey Combs just walked in. But from the get-go, he gave me a performance, he gave me you saw. He gave me a solid performance from day one. This guy's worked with Peter Jackson. He's worked with Stuart Gordon. I am nobody. I'm this little kid from Detroit. I'm so stunned. He just delivered. How professional is that? That's like ridiculous professional. I am nobody. This could have been the worst movie ever. I don't know if he did it because he told me he did it because he loved it, so I trust him. We've texted back. That's the weirdest thing on earth. Like, oh, hold on. I'm talking. I'm in line for Froyo. Fucking Jeffrey Combs just, oh shit. And then you want to be like, hey, look at that. But you don't, because you know, that's a real dick move. So yeah, that's okay. Jeffrey Combs is amazing. He obviously delivered. We did Combs things, like we made the mold kind of look like him, and in the very end he has this big, I don't know if you guys stay till the end, but he has this thing where he's like, man's very first vital breath was his infection. Which is like super just Jeffrey. In Reanimator, there's a part where he goes, that's insignificant. And I was like, oh shit, I gotta put that in my movie. So that's what we did. I keep doing this like it's a burrito.
One last question from me before I open it up to you.
Yeah, because I want to know what you guys thought. This guy, I know what he thought. He programmed it.
One of my favorite 80s comedies is Real Genius. Did you notice all the references in this film? Maybe Don can expand on that.
This movie is because of Real Genius. Well, no, I'm sorry, Canada. This movie is because of Canada. Secondarily, this movie is because of Real Genius. I was in LA, so I don't know if you know, how many of you guys have been to Los Angeles? Yeah. Wow, Canada, you have trumped America. Or maybe they just didn't come back. Check it out. Los Angeles, for a filmmaker, it has a wall, okay? You get to there, they ask you if you have any fruit, which is fucking weird to me, the fruit thing. And then you see in front of you, like the fucking North Wall in Game of Thrones, this giant structure built entirely on the broken hopes of the young and metered with the tears of the innocent. And in front of it is a giant gate that just says, get fucking 30 years of networking, you asshole. And it's hard. And you get there when you're 19, like I was. I saved up $3 grand. I'm gonna go to LA, and I'm literally, no fruit. I'm gonna step over, and they're gonna be like, here's a film, Mr. Spielberg, I love you. And that was gonna be it. That's how it works, right? I mean, actresses, you guys know, nobody's gonna take advantage of you and your body, your whole body, all of it. Like, so yeah, it was crazy, and it was depressing. When you're 19, things are really dramatic, right? So I got there, oh God, woe is me, I'm not famous. I have to do work for money, I have to work at a restaurant, and that's shit. No, I am above that. I'm from Detroit. It doesn't mean anything. So I worked a bunch of film stuff, but it was kind of shifty. It turns out that if you're like, I'll do anything you want, just put me on a film set, you will be put on weird film sets where they ask you to do some crazy shit. And it's depressing and weird and hard, and you don't get paid, or when you do get paid, you use the money then to take a cab home, which is really rough. So this one, I was at this, I lied to this lady so I could live in her house. She's an Australian lady. I figured, oh, Australia, they're not genetically just a giant band of brigands. I'm gonna go there, and she's gonna be so nice to me. And she wasn't at all nice to me. And I kind of lived in this little tiny roomlet, like a roomette, like a bed, like a half a bed, and closet. No, because I had shit in a closet that was hers. And I couldn't like go to the common areas, and I promised her I'd pay her $6,000. That's like, you could buy the moon with that money when you're 19. And I went there, and every night I would sneak out, and I couldn't go into the closet because it was attached to her room, and she'd hear me going into the closet. So what I had to do was go out into the room in my underwear, because I couldn't go get like pants, and I never thought I could just leave pants out and get the pants and then go. No, I was super depressed, and I sat there, just sitting there and just watching television. I want to fucking die. She's hot. Ah, she's speaking Spanish. I don't know Spanish. You know, like, and I would do this nightly, and I never caught. I was like the ultimate late night 2 a.m. television thief. It was brilliant. And one night I'm sitting there, and it's like, Real Genius comes on. You guys seen Real Genius? That girl Jordan, I'm a big nerd. I'm like a science nerd. That girl, when she comes into the bathroom and she's like, listen, I knitted you a sweater, are you peeing? I was just like, oh my God, I love Jordan. And then I'm stuck to the TV. And then I thought to myself, it occurred to me, if this TV like ever went away, I would probably fucking kill myself. I'm 19 and very dramatic. Oh God. Jordan, keep talking science. So I wrote that down, and with it I wrote I Heart Toxic Waste and all this other cool stuff. And then a bunch of more terrible, ridiculous, horrible shit happened to me in LA, and I wrote it all down in a book. And then, like 20 years later, or whatever, 15 years later, they're all like, you want to make a movie? And I'm like, sure. And like, I want to make a physics movie about physics, and it's going to be awesome. And I spent 2 years at Fermilab, and it's going to blow your whole mind in half. You're going to love it. It's a movie about hubris. You guys like hearing that, right? That's a thing you say to make people interested in your movie. And then it's going to be, there's this particle physics and astrophysics, and oh my God. And they're like, yeah, no, we're not going to give you $750,000 to make a dumb movie about physics. I'm like, but there are boobs. And they're like, well, kind of scientist boob, but they're hot scientists, so it's gonna be cool. But it was never cool. And they're like, what else do you have? And I'm like, oh, I got a ton of shit. I got so much shit that I can do for like $200,000. And I went back to my little book, and I was like, I don't have any shit for this budget. I gave them, I don't know how to make movies, and whatever. So I found, I can't lose the TV, I'll die. I actually wrote, his name was Ken, he was my television set, he died somewhere around blah, blah, blah. Strange, I thought I'd be the first one to go. I wrote that, and then I wrote, I met this high dude who asked me if I ever thought the cock was talking to me. I was like, no, but I'm gonna write that down. And I wrote that down, I wrote a bunch of other cool stuff, and I just like I'm gonna sell this to these guys, and then I'm gonna make a really, a script that means something to me out of it once they give me money. So that happened. Do you guys have questions? Because like, I have a question. Outside of the people who have already left or are leaving, who hated the movie? Give me a hand. One hand. Not even a single. See, you guys, if you love the movie, I wrote a movie that I hoped you'd like. So you'd be all like, I love that Jeffrey Combs was in it. I cast Jeffrey Combs for that reason. I love that it was kind of gross out. That's why I did it. But the guy who hates it, that guy's fucking invaluable. That guy's I had a lumberjack tell me he hated it. A fucking lumberjack. He's like giant. He was the size of a tree. Like he was a tree that cut down other trees. He came up to me, and he comes up, I'm doing a Q&A, and I'm like, on stage, and they're like, oh, thank you, clap, 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 and I go to walk off, and he just goes, whoo, and his hand is the size of a pickup truck, and he puts it around my hand, and he goes, I hated your movie. I'm in Idaho, I could die there. And I'm like, I don't think you know how this works. And he goes, but I thought it was a good movie. Well, okay. Isn't that awesome? Like, the guy hated it, and then he told me, well, he thought it was good, but he just fucking hated it. That's confusing, but I like that he didn't murder me. So, some of you guys have questions. There's a big light there, but I've been dealing with lights for festivals forever, so just shoot hands if you got them, and I'll answer questions. You have a question?
I do.
Fire away.
Please tell us about the beautiful actresses in your movie. They really brighten the joint up.
Are you the guy who did that article?
Yes.
I love you! So this dude doesn't... Oh wait, before I answer your question, where is Stacy? The one who knows I'm going to be talking to her, unless she left already. Cece. The grade 2 teacher, Cece. She's not here? Maybe she's right behind the light. They left. Mother effer! Well, I'm not going to thank her for coming. She was not going to come, and then she came. So answering your question, sir, this gentleman wrote a beautiful article about the hottest pieces of ass at Toronto After Dark. It wasn't called that, but that's what it was. And he only has 3, and Danielle Deach is one of the 3. And it's awesome, because did you guys get like, I want to put it in that one? Because she was like the best, she was just the girl next door, right? She was Jordan from Real Genius. I will tell you, her name is Danielle Deach. She was previously, the feature she did before my feature was Bikini Girls on Ice. I didn't know this before I cast her. She just did a really great job in our like cattle call. She like super nailed it. And we did this thing. We held the auditions in a public library. Most people do that because it's cheap, but I did it because I wanted to see that I could get a girl that I could throw up into her mouth. So we put them in a public library, and I said, hey. And I had them do like a romance scene that had nothing to do with the film, and they work, they have a chemistry. So, the final question, are you allergic to silicone in any way? Do you have any moral objections to dying on screen? Now, in the public library, will you scream the most blood-curdling scream you've got at the top of your lungs? It was awesome, she nailed it. The library tried to evacuate. Because I knew I was going to be messing with this girl. I didn't want to like have anybody who's like, oh, no, I don't do that. I'm not going to deal with that girl. So she nailed it. Yeah, she's in she's in a little short that we did for a Roger Corman thing called The Catastrophe at Catalina. Look it up, because all she does is scream the whole time. It's amazing. It's all her real scream. The scream. Can I tell a quick story before I answer the question? We pulled that girl through that cabinet for reals. That happened in the RL. It was crazy. She went from going like this, which is super hot, and then she went to like her legs were in the air and her hands were on her knees in 4 frames at 24 frames a second. We used a shotgun rig like they do in those old mob movies where like, it's the Chicago way, and the guy goes flying through the wall. We go whipping this girl through this wall, and it was originally going to be 1 cut, like no cuts. I'm gonna 1 cut, you'll believe it, it'll be amazing. We had to cut because what happened was we rehearsed it a bunch, and she was super cool, and every time we pulled her through, it just went, and we're like, okay, it's cool. I was nervous. I didn't want to kill this girl. Our insurance was good, but not that good, and I couldn't murder this person. So we pull her through, and as we're pulling her through, she releases this blood-curdling scream that you hear in the movie. Just this like, and I thought we killed her to death. I was behind the monitor, I was like, and the actor, Adrian, he was supposed to step in. The minute she goes through the wall, he's supposed to step up and get blasted in the face. 1 fell swoop, it'll be amazing. We can only do it 1 time, but it's gonna be okay. No, it wasn't okay, because he's like, oh fuck, is she dead? And then he sees that she's not dead, and then he steps up, and then so there's a beat in there that we had to cut out. But it was a really cool experience. She screams like crazy. Does that answer your question? She's nice. No, it doesn't?
Yes, it does.
Okay, cool. Yeah, she's really nice. She's amazing. She's in my next feature. She's really cool. She's like I went to I went to Gen Con with her, which I have to tell you guys was a really weird experience. Walking through Gen Con in my Transformers t-shirt with the super hottie and all the guys going, so what are you doing at Gen Con? What are you guys doing at Gen Con? It was crazy. It was like a magnet for like weirdos. And I was one of them because I'm like, no, she's mine, don't touch her. She's mine.
Let's answer some questions.
Yeah, more questions. He's keeping it real. You.
What was stuck to the back of Ian's head?
This is a girl who's never been alone as a guy at 3 a.m.
Get rid of it.
It's stuff. I don't know. It's, stuff. It's dude stuff. I'm not saying it came from a penis, but it might have in fact come directly from a penis. There was somebody else, you in the red shirt, I think. Had a question?
You can't tell. I'm curious. I have so many questions, but I'll limit it to 1.
Wow.
My question is about the music. I really enjoyed the music, and I thought it was very evocative and really kind of worked. What kind of inspired you to make this kind of old school gaming, tacky TV show style music? And
remember how I was a programmer? I'm a programmer still. Just on the side, it's kind of a fun thing. I make games for Pixel Jam. We released Retro Unicorn Attack and a bunch of other cool games for Adult Swim and our own couple games. I know people in the industry. One of them is Alex Mauer, who is like a world-renowned chiptune artist. He's the first dude to ever release an entire album on an NES cart. It's awesome. He released 2 more and you can buy them for like $4 grand online. It's crazy. They're super collector's items. I have one. I went to him, we've been buddies for a while. I went to him, I was like, would you like to do a feature? And he's like, what, like a chiptune soundtrack to a feature? I'm like, yeah, but I want real hardware. I want an NES and I want a C64. I want the NES to cover the high range and all the melodies, and I want the C64 to give the big fucking booming like bass thing, you know? And he's like, sure, but you know that's not, people don't do that, that's dumb. I'm like, we're doing it! So, the movie takes place in 1991, so there is context. I didn't just make that shit up. Like, the movie takes place directly in 1991. I remembered, what was my favorite song in 1991? Snake Man stage from Mega Man 3. That was my favorite song in 1991. I have my Nintendo DS right here, it has my Mega Man charm. I'm a giant Mega Man fan. So, that's where that came from. I thought that it would give you, Toronto especially, considering the dream of the 90s is alive in Toronto. It would give Toronto a really cool feeling, and the rest of the audience as well. I liked it for the nostalgia. I really wanted to say it's 1991 without saying 1991, so I told you that Gene Roddenberry just died, because he died in 1991. It was a very sad year for me, I'm telling you the truth. But then, yeah, so that's that. Other questions? Really? Oh, you sir, back in the, yes. I just pointed randomly. You.
First of all, my ringtone is Airman from Mega Man.
Dude. I don't have a guitar. I'm gonna make it work.
I'll make the theme of Mega Man 2 on mine.
Bum, ba-da-ba-bum, bum, 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 ba-da-da-dum, bum, ba-da-da-da-dum, ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-da-da-da-dum, ba-bum, ba-da-da-da-da. No, really? Okay. That's Mega Man 2.
Such limited sets and just the way it was set up. You ever think of doing it for stage and not just?
We had offers. I don't know what to do with that.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I've been told that, and we'll pursue it if people want it. I'm a storyteller, man. Movies are cool, but I'm not going to be like, well, this is inspired by a character. So no, I wanted. Did you guys like it? If you liked it, that's what I was trying to do. I wanted to make something fun. I'm more into like RoboCop and fucking aliens and shit. Like I'm not gonna like. Composition is important if you're trying to get a point across to your audience, but it's not important if you're trying to show how awesome your dick is. So I want you guys to enjoy a movie. So that's kind of what I did. I would love that. If somebody wanted to take that and run with it on stage, hell yeah. And I also have like 1 million takes of Jeff Combs as the mold, and we did the mold live. It was like a theater performance. The guys actually, the puppeteers who did it, which was Tolan Effects, Steve Tolan from Pittsburgh, he built the thing and then he had a team of puppeteers, and what they did was, it was really cool. I split up a bunch of different varying takes of the lines, so it was a live deal anyway. He didn't know it was coming out, or when it was coming out. He didn't know which version of the line. So we got a real performance out of the dude. So you could definitely do that on stage. That'd be awesome. If you want to take it over and do it on stage, bro, I'll be behind you as long as I get like dollars.
Somewhere.
Yeah, well, I one more question, or one more answer to that. I wanted to say, the one set, just so you guys know, that one set's actually 2 sets. One of them had to be 4.5 feet off the ground, because we had to stick a puppet team under there. So when you see him walk down the hallway into the bathroom, that's all movie magic, and I couldn't afford 2 hallways. So we'd walk him in, and we'd get him like, and then we'd clear the set, lift the hallway up, turn it, run it over to the bathroom, staple it on, and then have him go. No, he's not standing up on it. No, we put him back in position. We framed him, and he just, and he's back in. And then we did, some editing stuff. But yeah, so that set was awesome. That was done by Ray Deselich in LA. She did a bunch of really cool movies. Look her up. Up there, apparently.
Yeah, if you say you're not a Frank Henenlotter fan, you're a liar.
Okay, check this out. I went to an Arkansas film festival, and they're like, oh shit, dude, you and Henenlotter, you guys need to make babies. And I was like, I don't even know what a Henenlotter is. Is that like a beer or something? And they're like, oh my God. They're like, what about Basket Case? Oh, Basket Case is one of my favorite movies. Like, but aren't you a filmmaker? Don't you spend all of your time going, well, I compare this one to Henenlotter and the other one to... No, I just love the movie. The little guy in the basket. It's awesome. Henenlotter's hand was up there. I just didn't know his name. Apparently, I was inspired by Frank Henenlotter. And what's even cooler is I'm going to be meeting the dude next week in England. We're going to shake hands and open a festival together. So you are right. I guess I lied because I didn't know. It was one of those, like, accidental lies. Like, I didn't mean to kill the cheerleader, she was really excited. Is that it? No, you. Oh, cool. There are more.
Anybody on the right side?
Oh, we're doing a right side, left side thing. You guys are wolves. You guys are sheep.
There you go.
I'll
There
do
you go.
it.
Oh, go for it.
Okay. What's your inspiration?
Fuck off. I told you not to ask that question. And somewhere, that Irish girl is just, there she is. You were gonna ask and you got afraid. You got scared. Is it because you hated it? Did you hate it?
No, it was fun. It was fun.
Okay, she threatened to hate it. So, no, the inspiration was a bunch of depressing shit that happened in LA, and then looking at that like 19-year-old depressing shit as like a 30-year-old. Like going, oh, that's fucking fantasy. When you're 19, you don't know shit. So it was me looking back at those like weird depressive moments and being like, that wasn't depressing. Ah.
Right there.
Did you end up studying film before opening up your own company, or did you just jump from computer programming to making movies?
I never really jumped. Remember, were you not here for the How Canada Made Me a Filmmaker thing? You were here. You just weren't listening. Oh, okay. Well, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. No, I didn't really. What I did was, I know what my friends and myself think are really fun movies. I wanted to make something. Look, for me, filmmaking, storytelling in general is like it's magic creation. It's delight generation. That's the point. If you go to a movie and like Traffic, man, I was sitting in traffic going, no, Crash. I'm thinking of Crash. Traffic was kind of cool. Crash. I call it trash. But not David Cronenberg's Crash, where they're like fucking at the car crashes. That was a cool movie. No, the one where like Sandra Bullock's kind of a racist, and then she falls down the stairs and is no longer a racist. That one. I'm in that movie going, why? Like these people are I know depressed people. I'm from Detroit. I know racist people. Why am I subjecting myself to the most depressing, crazy? But the acting was amazing. Yeah, but what did that do for you? Did you learn that there are racist people? Did you learn that sometimes people get depressed? No. RoboCop, on the other hand. That's what I want to go see in a theater, right? Check this out. We saw The Battery last night. Right? That's primarily two dudes talking, but those two dudes are in an awesome situation that you couldn't have in real life. That's why it's awesome. You can just fucking, I'm kind of a racist dickbag. That's not a movie, man. Like, watching Jennifer Connelly and her unbelievably beautiful breasts doing heroin is not exciting to me. It's shot really well, but not super exciting. I want to see fucking the Nostromo jettisoning the escape pod and mother, turn the cooling units off. Like, that's a movie to me. It's a moment where I'm sitting there wrapped, and then for the next like 20 days, I can't get this shit out of my head. And it's not because, wow, Sandra Bullock was a bitch that one time. Like, that's Gravity, another Sandra Bullock vehicle. I'm still thinking about how cool that looked, to say nothing of the story. So yeah, was there a question that I did on that? Sorry, guys.
I don't know. Was that?
Yeah.
Did I satisfy? Did I not satisfy? Oh, did I do fuck? I watched movies. It was awesome. I saw a bunch of movies and I really liked them, and I thought, what blows my mind and how can I try to blow other people's mind? And this is an attempt. This is me. This isn't my 95th movie. I can't make Phantom Menace yet. And I was joking. That was a joke, dude. I'm a nerd. This is an attempt. If you loved it, if it delighted you, then I've done my job. If 1 second made you giggle, if sex got you, then cool. I've succeeded a little bit, and I'll try harder next time. That's my only goal, is to service you guys. Seriously, filmmaking is a wholly collaborative process. If you take everybody out of filmmaking, the entire crew, the entire writer, all the editors, all the post people, is one dude shooting himself with a camera and editing it and releasing it. He's still only done 50% of the work. The audience is the other 50%. If he shoots it just for himself and he's super art bro and he's done all this cool shit because he's worked it out. He watched a bunch of shit when he was in film school and wow, oh my God, it's random. Who watches that and goes, yeah, dude, I like the part where he was fucking eating that sandwich. Like, that's not interesting. I want to give you something interesting. I'm not saying that's not valid art. It's valid art. I'm a storyteller. I tell stories. I don't tell art. Art is cool. It can support the stories for sure. So I watch movies and fell in love with it. You like have are you covering your face? I can't see. I thought you were like, shit, what did I do? All right, next questions. You.
I thought it was really weird that you had a KMFDM poster up there.
Wow, 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 wow.
Was there like a reason? I mean, I know
1991. That's a poster from 1991. It's my poster from 1991 when I had the big pants with the zippers and all that. Rage, I hate everything. I'm 11. That's why. I just love it. There's a lot of hidden stuff though. I love that you picked the KMFDM poster. You didn't pick the point where we were saying that Ian was Jesus Christ. You missed that one. But the KMFDM poster you nailed. One of them's obviously one, the other one's not. The religious thing, there's a lot of religious allegory in the movie, but there's like 15 different religious takes on death in the movie. So don't think that it's just one thing. I just wanted to talk to everybody. I personally have my own questions. Is that hand about to go up, or are you just picking? There's somebody.
We got time for one last question.
One last question? This is ridiculous. Are you guys gonna come to the party thing? Because I'm not gonna shut up.
We can talk more.
Yeah, it's a pub, the office pub. Blah blah blah. Ask the question.
One last question?
Fire.
I got 4 questions.
I love it. You're my best friend.
Video games, and can I have it? And if not, will you make it? And when can I have it?
Kickstarter.com, motherfucker. Star Major's getting me. Yeah. It's true. We're doing Dino Run 2, which is a sequel to Dino Run, hence the 2 part. On November 5th, we're launching a Kickstarter for Dino Run 2. It's going to be amazing. Go to pixeljam.com and find out about it. After that, if that's successful and we don't have to worry about wasting all of our man hours not getting paid for it, we're going to try to make Star Major, because that's a game. Man, when I was like, I need to put a game in a movie, I was like, what game would I want to play forever? Yes. It's a shmup combined with a point-and-click adventure game. What the? That's amazing.
I want it now.
I want it now too, dude. Like, pledge $30 or whatever when it comes out. Just go to motivationalgrowth.com. We'll talk about it. Send me an email, don@imagosfilms.com. That's IMAGOSFILMS. As Imagos is the final phase of an insect's transformation. So like a butterfly is the imagos to a caterpillar. It's also it describes conflict among adult human beings. It's based on a script I wrote called Capsule, where they're stuck in a ship. I'm filibustering. They're stuck in a ship. And the ship is called the Imagos because when it finally looses the fuel, it looks like it has shed a skin, but it's also called the Imagos because it's a space crazy movie and everybody tries to murder each other at like near light speed. It's really cool. I thank you guys for coming. That was awesome.
We can continue this over at Pub After Dark.
I'll be there. If you want to buy me a drink, buy me a Coke. I don't drink.
Ladies and
Because
gentlemen.
imagine if I drank.
John Thacker, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Look, your eyes look very nice today. It's delighted.
I'm glad we spent 4 minutes.
We should tongue one up. Oh, okay. Pub it is.
Thank you.